name's Rizzuto, and today we're not going to be cooking, but we're going to be looking at preparing something that is used for cooking a lot. I've always cooked with very crappy cookware. Black, Teflon coated, the Teflon scratches, doesn't heat very well. And I started looking into things the more I started with this, and I found out that cast iron is great. It's old, it seems like something my grandmother would use, and it's probably something my grandmother did use. But it's very good for maintaining heat. Once it preheats, it holds onto that heat for a long time. So I looked into getting some and finding out more about it.
A while back I bought these cast iron items here. They're both Lodge, cast iron skillet, cast iron griddle, and both of them said they came pre-seasoned. And I found that pre-seasoning doesn't necessarily mean that they're all that seasoned. So today we're going to clean these up, re-season them in the oven, and see how they come out. This is the one time when I'm going to recommend using soap. Normally you just want to rinse with hot water. I like to use steel wool. Soap will break down the seasoning we're about to put on this thing. So I wouldn't recommend ever using it. Just some hot water to get the chunks out is all you really need. I like to use the steel wool just to get the chunks off. And then I put a light layer of oil on after each rinsing. But in this case we're going to use soap and water, wash this thing up, get everything off, break down that seasoning barrier, and get a nice clean piece of cast iron to start with. There you have it. We've cleaned them up. We got the grill all cleaned. We've got the skillet all cleaned. Now all we have to do, well, we have to start. I'm going to be doing this with coconut oil. If you're using a vegetable oil or something stronger than that, you can start at 350 degrees for the process. I'm going to be using coconut oil. The process takes a couple times from what I've heard at 350. So I'm going to shoot for 250 for a longer amount of time. 250 degrees for 2 hours, 350 for 1 hour. That's what we're shooting for here. I recommend using paper towels. I use paper towels to dry them, paper towels to put oil on them. You use a regular towel if you want, but that's going to get messy. So we're going to take the skillet. We'll start with that. Jar of coconut oil. Just taking a gob of it. Now again, I've never done this before. I've just read a lot about it. Everything I'm telling you is with confidence, and then we'll see if I have chef luck in the long run, even though I'm not cooking anything. So I'm rubbing the coconut oil on. Ideally, what's going to happen is when we put it in the oven, the pores on the cast iron are going to open up and absorb the oil and give it a nice non-stick layer. I'm going to coat everything. Getting some oil on the bottom. I'm putting a light coat on the outside parts because I do not plan anytime soon on cooking anything on that part. It's a little bit heavy on the inside, but I'm going to leave it that way. I'm going to season up the griddle, and we'll pick up right back here when we put it in the oven. All right, we've got everything set up here. The oven's at 250. I only had one cookie sheet with a lip. You can see here the the skillet is on an air-baked cookie sheet, and I made kind of a lip with the tin foil, hoping that it would stop any excess oil. I'm not expecting a ton of excess oil because it's the coconut oil and I put on a pretty thin layer. Back in the old days, they used to take these, fill them with lard and cook them to really seal it in. Maybe that's the right way. I got to get my hands on some lard, I guess. This could be, as Sapphire de l'Amour would say, a hot mess. I'm going to throw these in the oven. They're going to be in there for 2 hours, and we're going to open it up and hope that we have some good chef luck. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. There we go, 2 hours. Time to see what happened. Now these are going to be hot as, well, they're probably going to be about 250 degrees to be literal, but I was going to say hot as hell. So, make sure we've got silicone and cotton going on. Bam, let's see what happens. Oh, hello friends. Now these are pretty good. It was the coconut oil, so there's not a lot of stuff dripping off of it. Oh, hot. So we've got them done. Everything looks okay. There's a little excess oil left on the griddle. I'm gonna wipe these down once they cool down a little bit. You know what? Let's just go for it. I'm gonna get the paper towels and wipe them down. Again, just in case you need to know, why paper towels? Because your other towels will get ruined. Just gonna wipe down the grill just to get the excess oil off of there. I'm gonna get crazy and flip this one over just to see what it looks like. Oh, it looks pretty good. I got a nice glaze on there. I'm just gonna flip this back upright to let it sit to cool. I'm not even gonna touch that. So as a recap on everything we did today, we took our cast iron skillet and our grill, washed them with soap and water, dried it right away, wiped it down with some coconut oil, threw it in the oven at 250 degrees for 2 hours. Let it sit upside down, tinfoil coated cookie sheet, just in case oil was going to start dripping everywhere. If you're going to do this with vegetable oil or lard, you're going to definitely want a cookie sheet. So you can do this at 250 for 2 hours, at 350 for 3 hours. Enjoy your cast iron cooking. Thank you for checking out Chef Luck. Come back and see us next. Who knows what it's going to be? Maybe pop overs. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle.